We're the LA Baby Gurus, and we're back.
It's been a while due to COVID-19.
Yes, we've been social distancing.
Yes.
And making sure we both have a clean bill of health before getting together to do a video.
Right, so we both have a clean bill of health. I know we're a little close, but our filming is a problem if we're not close.
Yeah, we're just doing...
Unfortunately, we do it ourselves.
Yes.
We're not professionals, so...
Not at this, but we are professionals when it comes to babies.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I meant the filming, you know.
So getting to the babies, we're going to talk about teething.
Teething. Oh, teething is tough on the parents and the baby.
And sometimes the furniture.
Especially the baby. Definitely. Or the toys or whatever they're biting on.
Yes, your hands, your feet. Because sometimes when babies are teething, they'll put just about anything in their mouth to gnaw on it just to feel better.
Yeah. And it's really tough on them. Imagine you have a toothache. And, you know, you go to the dentist and you can tell the dentist what the problem is. And usually they can fix it. But your poor baby...
They can't communicate what it is. It's just they have this gnawing pain that's just like throbbing in their mouth, and they do not understand
what's going on. And the only way they can tell you is through all of that drooling. Imagine you're constantly drooling. And
then sometimes they have like loose stool and just marked irritability, and again they're gnawing on things. So these are telltale signs that your baby is teething, which could start anywhere from 4 months. I mean, some babies will be a little bit earlier.
As early as 3.5
but
or 3 months, depending on how early you as parents your teeth came in. Your babies can duplicate that. Like if your teeth came in early, your baby's teeth will probably come in.
And babies can be different. You could have one baby and it can be really bad and earlier, and another baby and have it be less bad or late. Right. And then there's different stages of the teething, and some babies just literally like have discomfort before you see any teeth for months. Other babies like nothing, and then all of a sudden they're like and then all of a sudden they have teeth. So it can be
3 or 4 at one time.
It's really crazy, but generally speaking, they're all going to have some marked pain due to teething.
Right, and this will go on from the time it starts till they're way over 2 years.
2.5, and until they get those final molars. So you'll have periods where they won't have anything going on once they get a bunch of teeth, but then when those back molars start to come in, sometimes it's like another push. You know,
and usually it's the first 2 to the bottom, then 2 to the top, and then the 2 to the sides, and then the ones on the side at the bottom. Usually how they come in, but some babies, they just come in all at once, unfortunately.
Yes, and teething can be really difficult, especially at night, because it's more painful. Just imagine when you have a toothache. Mm-hmm. You know, it always is worse at night. So with babies... you want to make sure that, like, they're going to have some teething that they're going to just kind of deal with because it's going to be part of their life. And then there's the marked teething pain where they need help. Like, you need to give them, if they're under 6 months, between like 4 and 6 months, Tylenol. The right amount. You check with your doctor to make sure it's okay for your baby. Everything is okay. There's no problem in your baby having it. And then from 6 months and up, Motrin, which helps a lot with it because it's an anti-inflammatory as well. But again, you always check with your doctor.
And the dosage always goes by the weight.
Yes, by the weight, not necessarily the age, because we've got some babies that, pounds wise, they're comparable to some 2-year-olds at like a year, and you could give them the 1 year dose, and that baby is like that, just like a piece of candy,
Exactly.
Didn't help anything. Exactly.
Yeah. And two, this is when, if your baby is already sleep trained by teething, great. Because even though they're in pain, you can give them the medication and they go back to sleep. If they're not sleep trained, then it can be a disaster.
It could be holy moly.
Yeah,
Let's just say. It could be very difficult. So we do suggest that you work on getting the baby sleep trained
prior to teething.
Yes, because they could start sleep training by 4 months old. So it definitely is advantageous for many reasons, but teething is definitely one of them, because then it simplifies things. When a baby is up at night for various reasons, because it's used to being fed or it's used to being held, and then it's teething, it's very difficult to distinguish that it's this or that, or it's teething, but once the baby is sleep trained and you consistently put that baby down at night and it sleeps, you will notice, like, okay, I'm seeing the other signs, like, the extra saliva, maybe some loose stool, some irritability, and then it's up at night, and you can say, okay, you know what, this is teething, because you've eliminated the other things.
The sleeping problem, they're no longer eating in the middle of the night,
right?
So okay, this is teething, let me take care of this, and put my baby back down.
Exactly.
If they're not sleep trained, you have trouble on your hands.
So although this is a video about teething, it's also a time to also
hand in hand.
Remind you that it really is advantageous for your sake, for the baby's sake.
Have that baby sleep trained prior to
get that baby sleep trained
on least, if they're not fully sleep trained, sleeping 12 hours, at least sleeping 8 hours straight, 9 hours straight.
Exactly.
So teething will be a lot easier on the baby as well as the parent.
Yes, but also to understand that it is something that's going to be intermittently part of life, for those first couple years, and it can be managed. They have teething rings. Some babies really respond to during the day. If you take the teething rings, put them in the freezer, let them gnaw on it. I mean, when they're age appropriate and they can actually, like, you could freeze a bagel and they can gnaw on that and they enjoy that.
Wrap a piece of ice in a nice clean cloth, like even a baby diaper. That's even nice. Anything to help relieve the swelling and the pain on the gums.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's so tough on them, know, and you feel like helpless sometimes. Like, what can I do for them? But it's just a process that has to happen and take its course or run its course.
And that's part of it to understand too, is that you can't just completely stop it. They do have to deal with it, and you help them as best as you can. But we all had to get them, and it's not fun, but they will get through it, and you will get through it.
Yes.
And then you'll forget about it. It'll seem very intense at moments, and then all of a sudden there'll be 3 or 4, and you'll forget about it.
Oh yeah, you're like, I remember those teething days. And you can tell your friends, oh yeah, we went through it. It was tough, but you'll feel much better after it's over.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but so many of our parents will say, why is it so tough? Well, because it's something that has to happen. Nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, and it's tough too because they can't express to you exactly what is going on. When we have a toothache, we understand that we have a toothache. We can articulate it, we can call the doctor, and we can definitely get that toothache taken care of. But with the baby, again, it's up to the adults around the baby to identify what the problem is.
And take care of it.
Exactly. So, again, so those are some of the signs. You have a lot of drooling. And you'll have sometimes the loose stool because they secrete more saliva. It gets into their gut and disrupts things a little bit, and then, causes a little bit of loose stool. Irritability, marked irritability. They get redness in the cheeks often. They swell up. So there's a lot of signs.
Sometimes a diaper rash.
Yes.
You'll find that the diaper rash becomes more intense when they're teething.
Again, secreting the extra saliva, it's going through the gut. There's more acid, so that can cause also more rashing as well.
Yeah. And what you can do is make sure you wash your hands. You want a clean hand. Feel their gums, because you can tell before a tooth will pop through, the gums are really, really swollen and hot.
And they have little baby Oragels and stuff that you can rub on the gums when they're swollen and uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'll kind of deaden it for a short period of time.
And during this time when they are secreting more saliva and you're noticing like some loose stools, it's really good to put some Desitin on their bottom, even if you're not normally doing it, because
Definitely
you want to protect the skin on their bottom from the irritation and the acid.
Yeah, of all that diarrhea.
Yeah.
And some babies have it worse than others.
Exactly. Some babies seem to, zoom through it just fine.
Yeah.
But generally, all babies have some
form.
Some of these symptoms, if not all of them.
Yeah.
So just some things to look for and to think about, ways to help the baby at that time.
Yeah, because you come home and those first couple of months, you think, oh, I've got this down pat. Yeah. And unfortunately, other things will happen. Will just throw you off again. Yeah, so that's why we're here to help you with all these different stages that a baby will go through.
And just to understand too that it's coming. So, excuse me.
Yes.
If everything is running really smoothly, and then all of a sudden, like, why is my baby up and irritable? And it turns out to be teething, then you know that that's just part of it, and it won't be forever.
It won't be forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just thought we would cover some, different parts of teething just to help you along. And we'll be back again, hopefully in a little bit, to bring you another video.
Yes, so goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
It was great to just be on here and to give you some tips on teething.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care.